I'd like to introduce Shaianne from Canada, and Shaianne has multiple sclerosis. Welcome.
Thank you.
Could you tell us, when did you first start to get MS symptoms?
I probably started getting symptoms in my early 20s, but didn't know what they were.
Yes. What sort of symptoms?
They varied from like hip pain, balance issues, weak leg, and in the end I was having some dizziness and stuff like that.
You said, you weren't diagnosed at that time, right?
No, I didn't. I probably got diagnosed like 7 years after the first symptoms started.
Okay. And did those symptoms get worse in the time that you were waiting to be diagnosed?
Yeah, for the first few years I didn't realize what they were, didn't put a connection to them, and then things started to get worse, yeah.
And it becomes, doesn't it, like all pieces of a jigsaw puzzle that fit in together to give you a picture that you really would rather not see.
Yeah.
So, how did it affect you, having the diagnosis of MS?
I was okay. I mean, of course, I guess I didn't want to have MS, but I was glad in the end finding out what was wrong.
Yeah.
And then
how old
I was
were
the kind
you?
of person.
Oh, sorry.
Pardon?
How old were you?
When I was diagnosed?
Yeah.
28.
And
I'll be 34 this month. So.
Okay. So what medication were you offered?
All of the injection drugs, and then I was basically just told to go home, research them, and pick one.
Right.
So I did my research, and I picked Copaxone. And so I started taking that right away. And then I had a severe allergic reaction to it, and had to go off of it. And that's about when I started doing my research and found the drug called LDN. And I thought, wow, this looks too good to be true. And then I took all the information to my doctor. I did all my work, took everything to him. He had no idea what it was. So I said, well, you need to read through this, and you need to give it to me.
Right.
And he said, okay, well, I'll look at it. I said, okay, well, you only have one choice. I said, you either give it to me or I will find a doctor somewhere that will give it to me. And so he called back a week later and said, okay, I can't see any reason why you can't have this, and I'll let you try it.
And when was that?
I think I've been on it about 3 years now.
Okay. So when you got your prescription, was it easy to get it from a chemist?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Did you notice any initial side effects?
No.
And what dose did you start on?
1.5. And so I took my 1.5 the first night, and the next morning I woke up and I had absolutely no stiffness, because I had troubles in the morning. I was so stiff it was hard to get out of bed, and so tired, and that was gone. And I thought, okay, this must be my brain. Like, this can't work that fast. And I have not had a single MS symptom since I started taking it.
Oh, wow. That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nothing at all.
No.
So what does your GP say?
I don't, that's the thing, like, between my family doctor and my neurologist, I mean, the family doctor he doesn't say a lot. And the neurologist kind of won't even admit to me being on that. So he won't look at anything to do with taking that drug, but they can say whatever they want. I know how I feel.
Okay.
And I don't think it's a coincidence that I haven't had a relapse or haven't had any fatigue or stiffness in 3 years since the day I started taking LDN.
So I'm thinking that you probably will continue taking LDN then.
Yeah, for sure. It's probably the only drug I've ever taken that I've never, ever missed a dose.
Okay. So what would you say to other people who are probably a bit scared of trying LDN?
It is absolutely 100% worth doing your research and taking it all to your doctor and trying it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, even if people don't have the exact same success I had, like my sister also takes it for fibromyalgia,
Mm-hmm.
and she isn't 100% better, but she doesn't have to take all the horrible drugs she was taking before, so she doesn't have all the bad side effects.
Oh, that's good.
Right, like, so she does really good too,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, it's worth the push for anyone to try it.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, and long may your success with LDN continue.